Welcome back to another video. I know I haven't posted in a while, but I've been busy. Decided to post kind of on an off day because I normally would post just generic attacking video on Wednesday, but I haven't done it for the last 2 weeks, so I'm going to try to do it tonight, and then I'll post on Wednesday as well. So this is just going over, I end up getting around 90 minutes of gameplay, and I compress it down to around 30 minutes for you guys. And then I push my KP, I believe, from like 16 mil to 135, something like that. So I'll just put some commentary over what we're doing. Basically, I took this guy's small structure, or small like grouping there, and he was sending an attack. I quickly switched my gear to Guardian because I normally run 50% cautious when I can, and I see that he has an incoming attack, and I just move my troops. Now, you'll see here I sent a smaller march to the 93 because I figured he'd move his troops, and then I sent a secondary march towards the 98 for two reasons: because it's further away from where his troops would be coming from, and because he just moved his troops, so it's likely that he doesn't get it. And you see there he sent a 9G attack to the city that I took with the 700 mil troops and was able to reclaim that, but that was kind of just a dummy attack and did not change anything for me. So kind of looking around where I'm going to go to next, I'm working from lower KP players up to higher KP players. And I'm doing this because when you use this method, you can gain the most KP possible on your island. If you start at the big players, obviously, then you might attack them like 15 times or something, and then your KP is higher than everyone on the island. Whereas if you attack smaller players first, then you're able to build that up more staggered, and you don't just grow fast and turn everyone pink. And I was able to reach out to Bunny here and get a jump, and he's kind of an acquaintance of mine, so I do attack him later. And I do know I mentioned like normally attacking someone that gives you a jump is a like unspoken rule, like something that you don't do. But I told him like, can I have a jump? But I do plan on attacking you later. And I think if you do specify it like that, then it's more acceptable. And I try not to move my screen around too much when I am sending marches, just because I speed them up and so it looks kind of chaotic. But unfortunately, throughout this video I do move it around a bit. But this is the next guy I'm attacking. I'm just going to be sending like 7G marches, and I'm pretty sure he does not try to block me. And he does turn pink after just 2 attacks, unfortunately. But still 50%, so I figure I'll just grab these next 4 cities, and then I will work from there. And I'll be going towards the northern end of my island from this point, because although I'm next to Lord Midi, he, as you can see, is dark red, and so I'm going to try to work towards the light red players beforehand, like I mentioned earlier. And I'm sure there's some background noise. I'm actually in a motel right now, but I figured I just wanted to get this video out tonight, so hopefully it's not too loud for everyone, and you can still pay attention to the commentary. So I start attacking from the bottom, and I didn't actually mean to split that into a 90% march, but I then also attack from the top, because attacking from 2 points, it's a lot harder to guard. And notice that Daft has 41.7 Gs in that city, and I was thinking of taking it because it's his only city in the area. But later on, and actually pretty soon now, you'll see that that city gets taken, and so then I run through Daft Punk because I'm pretty sure he took that whole stack. But this guy was reinforcing the city that I took conveniently. I did a slight miscalculation and boosted the 6.49 Gs, but it was mistimed. Thankfully, I won this defense, and so I didn't like self-wall myself. And then I just continue attacking him. And the reason I didn't attack the 98 there to the left is because often you can run through people, and if instead of like clearing an entire area, you make a straight line through their base, you can then, when they go to defend, you can move your troops back through the line and attack the cities that are next to it. And I often like to use this method because I think it's kind of a safer method to use and allows you to also take cities that they're possibly reinforcing to, because likely they don't expect you to attack straight into their cluster instead of like just doing the normal attack the city that's closest to you and just work like zigzagging around. And so I scout, not this one, but next time, then I see that he moves his troops, and it's only 8 Gs, because I guess he only has that amount, at least in this area, because I walled his 11 Gs down to 8. And so that's where I'm checking now. I see that he only has 8 in the area, so I go to check what it is. He had 11, it went down to roughly 8, and now he moved them there, so I'm thinking that's his only troops that he has, and so I more confidently am able to attack from the higher positions. And I'm pretty sure I scout him to see if he has moved those troops, and he hasn't. So instead of attacking from that point where he could likely boost and wall me, I instead send him back towards the city that I was saving earlier and continue to hit from the northern cities. And I reinforce the city that I sent from because I plan on making other marches. Unfortunately, he turns pink, and so I don't really take much more. I believe I take this 98 because I already moved my troops for it, and still 50%, which isn't completely horrible. And so after taking that, then I go to attack Daft Punk, and you'll see soon. Oh, I do take one more. Okay. So you'll see soon that I noticed the city that Daft Punk was in with his 41 Gs, where I also noticed the 60-some Gs next to it. You'll see that I do continue to attack him. I thought I only took those, but that's my mistake, I guess, in my memory. But there, I stopped there. All right. And so then I just pull my troops back to that area, and I don't expect to take many, so I do move that 6G stack back south. And let's see, I'm kind of considering taking the 98, but I decide not to. And you see then, what you think you'd see then, that I noticed that Daft City was taken. But either way, it was taken. I'm sure I'll look over there eventually. Yeah, so I see that it was taken, and I scout it. It's down to 22 Gs, so likely Yachty full stacked him and knocked his stack down to like 30 Gs. And so that means that his troops, which I believe those are all his troops, are back down at his main during this time. And his main, as you can kind of see in that like blitz, is a bit down south from that area. So I just kind of spam through his cities a little bit to kind of just assuming that he's not going to be there. And I see Yachty's like, because I scouted him, he's scouting me, seeing if I'm going to attack him. I say I'm not. I take this city, and he's actually attacking it as well. And I have enough time to type in chat and be like, all right, I'm not going to wall you, because he sees that I have the troops there, and I could easily wall him, but it's kind of like a show of good faith. And also because I don't want him to run through me while I'm trying to attack other people. So I think that's a strategic move, like losing a 90 versus losing like X, however many troops or how many cities he might have taken instead. And it's kind of funny because one of the main reasons I'm pushing KP is to collect my clan mission along with a troop expedition that I have out. And I start the video at around 51 Gs, and I end the video at around 40 Gs. And then after I collect my troop expedition and the clan quest, then I'm sitting around 51 Gs again. So I kind of broke even, but I did get, a decent amount of experience, and I do dump my goal at the end and make another 5 or 6 Gs over the night. And I also run another troop expedition, and so I'm able to get a couple Gs from that as well. And so in the morning, I end up with around 59 Gs. So I think it was profitable to do this. But as you can see, I'm not very worried. I'm not even scouting some of these because there's such a low chance that he's actually still there. And I believe I just clear out this top section and then work back down to where I was attacking from at the beginning of the video. Kind of just a little bit to the right of that. I do plan on releasing my seasonal bug report in the next couple days, but I still have to put that together. I haven't recorded it or anything, or edited it, so I definitely will get it before the end of the season. It's currently like 2 days left, but I'm not really sure exactly when. Of course, if you're in my Discord server, then you can always just keep up with that, and I'll post it there and maybe even announce when it's like uploading and whatnot. So good way to keep up with future content. And I also do plan on having a giveaway soon. I've been in contact with the devs and whatnot and the community manager, and trying to set it up as a bi-monthly giveaway. Maybe not as big as my last giveaway, but just something small to kind of look forward to. And so hopefully I will be announcing that in the next week, but it was kind of scheduled for the 16th, which is today or tomorrow, I believe, but I have not received a message from him. Oh no, the 16th is still another 4 days, so it might actually happen on that time, at least the announcement for the giveaway, or like how to enter it. But just stay tuned for that, and I'll make sure to kind of announce it. So as you see, I'm back over by Bunny, and I even messaged him before, or told him before I started attacking that I'm attacking him, just as kind of like a heads up. And I did, for the video and whatnot, I did want to see him try and wall me, but he doesn't actually try at all, which is kind of disappointing. But I mean, obviously it helps me in terms of like troop count and whatnot, and I already made a decent amount of gold and lost a decent amount of troops walling other people in this. But you'll see, he does have troops in the area. So generally, I wouldn't attack when I see that. I'm not sure exactly where they show up, but he has like 13 Gs. And I normally would not keep attacking when I see them that close, but I decide to kind of hit cities here and there, and he doesn't seem to wall, so I just, keep going through them. And I level him up, and I think he or someone else takes him back the following morning or whatnot. So it kind of... Okay, there's his 12 Gs, yeah. So as you can see, I noticed them, and I'm not going to attack up. I'm going to start attacking down instead, because I do not believe he's able to boost to wall that. Assuming that's like a lot of his troop count. And this is a bit of a longer march, but I did want to keep attacking from two different sides, and just to lower the chance of one of them being walled. And again, wouldn't necessarily recommend this, but because of the unique situation, it kind of worked out that I was able to attack him in this manner. And as I'm attacking him, I'm also hitting the guy to his right, which is the next highest KP player on the island. And I believe after I take this cluster, he turns pink. Maybe I have to take one or two above. But, I mean, obviously, if he's not walling me like right next to his main, then he's likely not going to wall me at all. And obviously he's online because he removed troops and was scouting me and whatnot. But I kind of wish we'd be able to fight a little bit, but I think he was a bit low on troops and just didn't want to risk those from a fight. So then I run through Midi a bit. I don't think he resisted at all. He probably was offline or had its notifications off, whatnot. So it often works out that way. There's not a ton of people that are active 24/7 that always are able to log on, or maybe they're on already, and able to defend. And then when people do log on to defend, then often you can kind of get around it, whether it be through jumping or attacking from a different side, or attacking a different cluster of their cities, maybe on the other side of an island. But all different ways to get around this. I guess I should bring up that I do have plans for a couple of videos. Obviously, a giveaway video coming soon, then a seasonal bug report, which I'll post in the next couple days. Then obviously I mentioned the Warfare Wednesday, which I plan on getting back into track with. And also someone requested a seasonal guide through the events. And so I don't really have a ton of information that I've put together for that, but I'll probably post it towards the end of next season and kind of just go through every event, and then as they come up, I'll record like a 2-minute portion just highlighting best ways to complete it, what it gives you, the different changes as it progresses, because obviously it kind of recycles through, and so you're able to do, I think there's 2 attacking or like city capture events throughout the season, and 1 in the later season you have to capture less cities and you get more rewards and whatnot. So I'll cover all that, and that'll be more of an informative video, which I'm glad it was brought to my attention, and so that'll be covered probably at the end of next season. So I'm kind of attacking up. And the reason I didn't attack the 98s towards the bottom is because I scouted them and I didn't see any troops, so I wanted to keep those as a reserve for if he moves his troops to defend the hundreds. But once he turned pink and I didn't have a ton of troops directly in the area, I decided I might as well just head back down to the 98s and run through them instead, because obviously the lower chance of being walled, but also because it's easier to take 98s, and then I don't know what else would be. I really don't like being walled when it's 0% experience. Yes, I'll gain like a small amount of gold, but it is fairly unbeneficial to me otherwise. I think I'd split my troops here. No, I don't. Okay. I was kind of deciding which path to take. It's always good to kind of map your pathing. And both ways, there's that city that kind of branches out and is towards the top there. So you kind of have to hit that and then reinforce back down and then hit the other, or hit that and then send a larger march back up. And I think that's what I end up doing. I take the 98 and then I send a longer march, not larger, sorry, back up to the other 98 at 0% experience. So again, wouldn't necessarily recommend that, but it was a pretty low chance that his troops were not in the area. So I figured it would work out fine. And I'm kind of looking around. Most people are pink. There's a couple people. I'm thinking of maybe taking the march to the 104, like reinforcing it. But instead, I decide to reinforce my main, just in case, someone takes a city. It's so close anyways, I might as well just do that. And running through Richard, he hasn't walled me this season. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, or there's anything wrong with that, I should say. But he generally just levels, let people run through him, then retakes 3 levels. So it's something that I can say, like, I normally wouldn't attack that close to someone's main city, but because he's shown to not really defend, then I might as well take him. And I don't get walled. I do take pretty heavy losses on the 17 Gs on the 108s, and I was thinking it would be less, but when you're doing the math, it does definitely add up and make sense that I would lose so much, because I was losing like 25%, something crazy like that on these marches. And of course, I'm only getting 50 or 0% experience, so I really didn't gain much from it. But I was thinking in the mindset where I'll take the cities now, and then people will take them back, and I'll gain some experience and gold from people taking them back, not actually from taking them myself. And I don't know if that's the best mindset to have, but kind of what I was thinking. And it actually worked out sort of like that. And you see here, I'm just scouting the surrounding cities. I do know there's cities a little bit above that, but I figure if he's there, then whatever. We'll just hope he isn't. So I send a 9G march and some change over to there. And although they're 106s and I'm taking like a little bit of a loss, then more than I'd like to, that is, then I am fairly okay with that. And still kind of just keep attacking him, even though I'm taking a decent loss. And you see here I'm reinforcing the 13 Gs because it is a bit much to be hitting with that, or it's a bit too little to be hitting with that for 108s. Of course, you can take a 108 with a sub 10G march, but you're going to take heavy losses unless you have an insane striker. So kind of just reinforcing and taking the city slowly. And I do scout. I think I scout. But I do scout, obviously, and make sure that he's not in that general area. However, if he was, it would be smart for him to instead reinforce to the 111 and then boost his troops from there to Walmy. And this is because it's out of my multi-scout range, and also because there's a very low chance I'm going to hit a 111 with my sub 10G marches. But while I'm hitting him, I look up and I figure I will run through Bran a bit. Bran has just a little line of cities here, and Bran is actually online. He doesn't speak English super well. I try to use the translate button that is incorporated within Million Lords, which I love, but I don't know if it was translating correctly, but none of the messages that he was sending really made sense. Obviously, you see he cleared his troops from that area. I see he's online, so I send a sub-G march. I move my other troops further to kind of just meet me at the other end, and send another sub-G march there. And you can see I'm trying to translate the message that he's sending. I'm like confused, like what are you trying to tell me? But obviously he doesn't have troops defending the cities that I'm taking, and so I just kind of take that last 101. I continue to take the Your Juice, and I pretty much end there. You'll see after I take that 101 and maybe like one other 106 and then the 99 or whatever it is, then I end it there. Yeah, the 96 is what it was. So I take the 96, take the 101, pull my troops back to my main, and from there I pretty much just level all my cities. Now, I spend the gold that I have saved up first, because there is an hourly aspect to the gold that the clan gives you, just like generic daily rewards from your clanmates. And so I wanted to get the most out of the hourly. Now, I do make a mistake that I wanted to note. What I should have done is collected the gold from the hourly, spent it, and then collected the clan mission that also had the 120 hours of gold production, and then claimed my troop expedition. But instead, I spend the gold that I have saved up personally, collect the daily rewards from my clan that I kind of saved up a little bit, 43 Gs there, spend that, and then I collect the clan mission 72 hours along with my troop expedition. Instead of collecting 72-hour clan mission, then collecting 120-hour gold expedition, then collecting troop expedition. So kind of a mistake there. But anyways, just wanted to point that out for you guys. And as I'm wrapping up the video, just want to say thank you for whoever's here at the end, of course. If you want to keep up with my content, join my Discord server, which is in the description of this video, where you can keep up with content and whatnot, ask questions, of course. And I also want to thank you guys for 400 subscribers. I really appreciate it. I noticed that maybe a week ago, but haven't had the chance to mention it, and thank you guys for it. But that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Keep tuned for the next one. See you next time.